Hey everyone, this is Sonja, and I am here with Emily Strickland. Emily is a realtor in Lakeland, Tennessee. This is right outside of Memphis. And she was so awesome to come here and share with you, all of you here, members in this group, all about 10X Growthcon 2019. So I'm super excited to ask you so many questions. I have so many questions. I want to know everything. But first of all, Emily, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us more about you, about your business.
Yes. Thank you, Sonja. It was an amazing time at the 10X Growthcon. Of course, my name, like she told you, I'm Emily. I'm a realtor in Lakeland, Arlington, Tennessee, right outside of the Memphis area. So the Mid-South area is where I sell real estate. I'm also a income tax preparer and a credit repair also. And
wow.
I have a full-time job also that I'm doing.
Wow, you are busy.
Yes. I have two amazing sons. I have one that's a sophomore in college. He's just was indicted into the Honor Society, so I'm extremely excited about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I have a 13-year-old, and I also have a 6-month-old granddaughter. I call her my glam baby. So I'm too young to be a grandmother, so I just call her glam baby.
Oh my, I was going to ask you because I saw this view of Glamma because I love it.
Yes,
I love it because I'm going to be Glamma as well. But I'm looking how she is a Glamma. This must be some kind of typo or something. You do not look like you have a sophomore child, first of all, and then you are a grandmother. So wow.
Yes.
I mean, just so you know, you look amazing. Probably everybody's telling you this, right?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
So, and I actually want to, I know obviously you are busy, and I really appreciate you taking time to come here and share this with us. So how did you decide to actually go to a 10X? A lot of hat.
Thank you.
What made you go there? Like, why this conference? Why 10X? Why Grant Cardone? And why Florida? So I want to know what actually made you to go to this conference.
Okay, which I'm in real estate, and I know he's the real estate guru, even though he's on the investing end, which I'm, that's the goal of mine also. But I know that he was going to be talking about the sales, marketing, and execution, and that's what I needed. Because being in sales, you get tired of like cold calling. It's almost like you're begging people to buy your product, or so I wanted different aspects on how I can actually get the sale. And I did actually list the home like the day after I came back. So I'm extremely excited about that. So as soon as I get off this live, I'm actually going there to meet with the homeowners because we're doing an opening house tomorrow. So yeah.
Congratulations. So, so what is actually, you said you went there because of the real estate business, right?
Yes.
So what else did you have in mind when you go there? What was your expectation, and did you meet the expectation?
Yes, my expectation was met on the sales and the marketing section. Now I just have to execute what I've learned there. I mean, like on the sales, like he gave us the day 1, day 2, day 3 books, and I've like filled up my notes. Like every page is filled of notes.
So here you go, Aisha. I want to ask you, can you please go ahead and share some of the major tips and notes you took that you feel like you will be applying to a real estate business? Because again, you were taking notes for your specific business, or you were taking general notes. How was your process of taking notes, when you were listening to a speaker? Were you like liking what he says and you wrote it down, or you had specifically goal in your mind and you wrote this note down? Like, how was your process?
Yeah, my process, it wasn't just specifically for myself. It was actually for other people, because I do have other people that's on my team, my real estate team, and my business, and income taxes and credit repair. So I wrote my notes so that I can help other people also. Because one of the things he said about sales was you need to change your understanding about sales. Because one of the things we think of rejection when they say no, but we have to change our thinking and think of revenue. One of his quotes are, "Who got my money?" So that's how you have to think of it. Instead of thinking, when you think of commission, you need to think about the customers. And when you think about, oh, I don't want to be pushy, you need to think about that's free advertising. And that was one of my areas of weakness, because I hate to seem pushy, like I'm forcing my products on someone. Instead of saying, oh, sales not for me, he said that it's an expansion for everyone. And he said, hard work, he said, think about it's other people's money. So, and he said, sales is easy. You just need to make the contact to increase your contact. And he said that sales is a contact sport. Increasing your sales is what is going to give you more money. In order to do that, you have to have the contact. Whomever makes the most contact wins the most sales, Uncle G said. Increase your contact, you will increase your revenue. So that was a big thing that I took with me. And he said sales is for everyone. Everyone is in some type of sales, regardless of what business that they're in.
Okay, so very, I love it. So, so there was a second tip you told. Can you please repeat this again, because I have a question about it. There was a second tip you said. You mentioned something about. Can you just go ahead and read the second tip? Was because I really had a question. Didn't want to stop you right there. The one that you said about the being pushy.
He said, instead of thinking of yourself as being pushy, think as it as being free advertising.
So can you explain that a little bit, like what he meant by that?
Yes, I mean, because you're in front of the person that you're trying to. Say, for instance, if I'm trying to, repair somebody's credit or sell a house. So I'm just going to go with repairing someone's credit. Instead of saying, your credit is jacked up, you need your credit repaired. But if I put it out there as like advertising, like, do you need your credit increase? Or asking a question instead of demanding them for your product, you have to give them a reason to want the product. Something that they can relate to. Like, why pay money for a down payment on a car when if you have good credit, you don't have to? And you can use that money that you would spend on your down payment for a car for pay up your whole year of insurance. So there's other things you can use that money instead of putting it down on the car payment. Because if you have good credit, you wouldn't have to have a down payment for your car. Just like recently, it wasn't at the conference, but I was listening to someone else, and they had mentioned about getting a CD, and that's what I did. I went and got like a $5,000 CD, just something which helps also build your credit, and I'm doing it so I can help my clients also. So I got the CD, and I also put a loan against that CD. So I actually got my money back, even though I'm getting a loan, which is going to increase my credit score even more. So my goal is an 850, so I'm working on that, but. Yeah.
Okay, so very good point right here. I actually just learned a few things as well as you are saying this to me, and really thank you so much for sharing that. So I did watch actually something he was talking about being known, right? And I want to share this with you. He was talking about being known, why some people are, why big brands are doing well. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Visa. Why these brands, PayPal, why they're doing well? Because they are known. They're putting themselves out there, right? They're known. People, there is a myth that people saying people buy from who they like. That's true. But also, first of all, they buy who they know, right? So if you put yourself out there, like you said, put yourself in front, it's your free advertising, right? It means that they get to see you. They don't see a competitor. They see you more. So they're going to go with you when they have a question or when it triggers something in them, they want to take action, right? So, and I absolutely love it. I just want to say, everybody who is watching right now, thank you so much for coming and watching this. If you do watch live, please use #live. If you do watch a replay, please use #replay. Do ask question, especially if you have any kind of question about any tip that Emily is sharing. So go ahead and ask the question or any other tip. So what are these are the all things you got from Cardone, right, at the conference, right?
Yes.
What else? Who else was somebody you really want to learn from, or you actually learn from? I didn't kind of think you'll be so interested, or you will
Yeah.
kind of like surprised by the whole kind of sharing. Tell me more
Yeah.
about our speakers.
Yes. I mean, he had a lot of great speakers, but another one was Jesse Isler. He started out talking about when he was becoming a rapper, and when they booed LL Cool J, he got smart. So he was like, never let them boo you. So he came out and like started throwing flowers, and he got his butt off the stage. So he was like, don't follow the crowd, don't follow the leader. I mean, do something different. And what makes you different is what he was trying to say. So you have to do something different in order to get noticed, because there's, oh my gosh, boohoo's are realtors in Memphis, in the Memphis area. So what am I going to do to help myself stand out? And that's where Russell Benson would come in handy by the click funnel, which I'll be using that also. And also Lopez, he had a lot of great information that I'm going to be utilizing to execute also.
So share some things that Lopez shared. Ty Lopez is well known for people that don't know who he is. He's well known in, so on investing side, like he's a real estate investor as well. And he is also social media guru. They like to call him. I don't like the guru word, but he is a social media guru, right? So he is all over the place. Everywhere you go, you see Ty Lopez, right? And he built a pretty good following, and his branding is on point. He has equal amount of people that love him and equal amount of haters, but both of them promote him. So share some things that you learned from Ty Lopez.
Yes, of course, he mentioned the statement, correct a fool, they will hate you. Correct a man, and who will love it. One of the other things he mentioned was law of attraction, which I actually have the book. So I'm going to be reading through that.
So tell me about the book. Who wrote the book? So
this is, the law of attraction is by Joseph Usher. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And he said, in order to make it happen, to manifest it, you have to imagine that it can happen. So basically, you have to have faith that it will happen. Because he said, every business idea that you have, you should launch it within 2 weeks. Don't set on it, because if you set on it, more than likely you're not going to do it. So when it comes to your mind, you need to do it. Just for instance, like in September, I woke up out of my dreams. I'm like, I'm going to start a nonprofit organization. So that night I got up and I started my nonprofit organization. Right now I do have a 501c3 nonprofit organization for single moms that's called A Chance to Thrive. So
I am super impressed with that. I was going to ask you next about that, and I was very impressed with you doing that. So and pretty much that was based on suggestion from Ty, right?
Yes, well, which I started in September, but that's one of the things was when you have an ideal, do not set on it. You do it immediately. I know that my sister was like, oh, you jumping and doing everything. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll figure it out along the way. And I did. I ended up reading a nonprofit organization book that was probably like that big, but I did all my paperwork myself. I got it approved with the state, with the IRS, and I have my 501c3 letter. So, and that's something that I wanted to do, because being a single mom, I know how hard it can be sometimes. So, and my organization isn't for like single moms that's on the government funding. These are single moms that work every day but still cannot meet their needs financially. So that's when we come in, we help them with their basic necessity. Need it be like laundry detergent, toiletry stuff, or even food, or maybe paying their light bills. I mean, because their money is putting a roof over their kids' head. And it would also cut down on like mothers working 3 or 4 different jobs in order to make ends meet, and leaving their kids at home by themselves, because it's happening.
Right. And this is a very like amazing mission and purpose, and I love what you do. Obviously, it's inspired by yourself. Like you probably wish you had somebody do this for you, right? And it's amazing mission. And some people that right now are watching probably are thinking, holding on something they want to actually make it happen. Here you go, like you just thought about it and you made it happen next morning. So good job on that. And so what else he was saying that you feel that that really kind of stood up for you, and you feel like you feel like transformed? Because when I go to conference, when I listen to speakers and certain that I really relate to at a certain time, because there has to be like good timing, it has to be what I'm working on, I feel transformed. And every time I come back from conference, I'm a different person, and I continue being that new person. I feel like I take off my old clothes and I put on, and I keep going to the next conference, and I meet another, amazing person who transforms me in always in a better way. So what was a transformational moment for you, whether by Ty or somebody else?
I guess Steve Harvey, when he spoke, I think that was probably his first sermon that he did, because he was amazing, which he referred back to his book that he's wrote, Just Jump, Just Do It.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, always put either, if you believe in God, or that higher being that you have, because you're not going through it alone by yourself. You're not doing it by yourself. And everything that happens to you is for a reason. It's to make you stronger. It's to make you the person that you are to be. So when you're thinking negative, like, why me? Why this stuff always happened to me? Because if I wasn't a single mom, a struggling single mom, then I wouldn't be able to help other single struggling mom now. So I take that as a privilege to have gone through that in order so I can help other people.
That's exactly right. And remember his story, him being in a car homeless for 3 years. And then he came out of it, became stronger. Now he's a leader in this country. So it's very possible. And, just to learn from the difficult times that we are going through, instead of like, taking time to really, dwell on it, work on it, get yourself out there, and then share with somebody who can actually take it. And I absolutely love it. So what was some things I want to, hear from you when it comes to Russell Brunson? What did you hear? What did you learn? What do you remember? What are you going to be taking action on?
Which one of the things that he said is volume and margin. You must have both. It was telling you that you need an audience, which goes back to what everyone else was saying. I mean, you have to put yourself out there. I mean, like Steve Harvey mentioned when he did the pageant, when he said the wrong pageant, the winner's name. He was embarrassed by that, but he got how many more followers? Is like crazy amount of people that started following him just because of that mistake that he made.
Because we're viral, everybody was sharing, right?
Yes, everybody was sharing, even though that they were doing it probably to hurt him. It turned out to be for his good.
Yes. And this is what I learned from Ty Lopez. He has the same look, same view at those things. Haters are going to promote you. And that's what happens. If you learn to deal with it, it's very hard when you have a first hater. Right. But then after you have first, you're going to have 10 and then hundreds and thousands. And it's eventually is this, even the people that are doing their best in the world, they still have people that don't like them, right? So it kind of like take everything what you are seeing with a grain of salt, right?
Right.
So when it comes to the whole organization of this conference, what was something that you felt it was done amazingly? What do you feel like, I wish I had done this was a different way?
Yes, for me, it's the execution part, in which he gave you the definition on the carry out. So we can go to as many conferences as we want, every week if we want. But if we don't execute what we're learning, then we just wasted our time, basically. Because his definition of execution was the carry out or putting into the effort of a plan, order, or the course of action. And he was just like, lean in. Because he gave the story of his uncle where he hated sales, but he continued to always come back to sales, regardless of what he tried to do. And he made the statement that if it's something that you are resisting so much, if you lean into it, it could be that thing for you.
And so I completely agree, because this is how I see going to a conference. The same way. You can go to as many conferences you want. If you don't take action after, if you're not prepared for this conference, if you don't have a specific focus and goal, what you're going to accomplish, then if you don't listen with the same focus and goal in your mind, and then when you come home, if you don't take time to actually execute all those actionable things you learned, that means that you just lost and wasted 3 days, plus money, plus everything else, right? So it's very, very important that you are prepared, you are focused, you have one goal in mind, and you work on that, right? Because sometimes we have so many goals in mind, we come home, we are overwhelmed, we have another work coming in, things we have to follow up, our regular, daily life, and we simply cannot accomplish anything. So I always say, you have one goal you want to go with, and make sure you have done it. This is how you maximized your conference. And this was a great thing for you to say, and actually, so we can touch base on that as well. So what was something that you felt you wish this conference was had done this will be better? Something that you feel like it's you kind of like honest feedback when it comes to that, or something that you want to say to attendees. If you go to this conference, make sure you do this, because if I knew this, it will be more work for me going.
Yes. Just be prepared. I mean, because we were there like all day long, and sometimes like our attention span is like that small. So just be prepared. I mean, because like when I had to get up, go to the bathroom, I hated to do that because I knew that I was going to miss something. And I know that I can buy the replay. I think it's on sale now for like $97 if you want the digital copy of it. But another thing, I'm trying to think who said it, where they's like, if you reach your goal, what's next? I think it was Jesse. Because he was like, if you reach your goal, what's next? So are you planning ahead, or are you just planning to achieve that one goal? And like a few things that Jesse said was, what do you love and what are you good at? And what can you provide to the world? And he said, build your story based on that. Because he's like, you are the business plan.
So what I am hearing here is that everybody is a personal brand. Everybody is right now, today in 2019, where social media and digital marketing is probably at its peak. So you do have to build your personal brand, no matter what kind of business you have. Even if you have, 50, 100, 200 employees, you still have to have the personal brand built, right? And you go from there and you share your story, right? Because sometimes you share with me when we started a story about you. You didn't just start right away about telling me no's. You told me about your son, about other son. You told me about your grandson, right? So now those are the things I will remember about you, or something that I can also relate, because I'm mother as well. So things that people can relate to you, and I really love that you shared that with me, because that's exactly what it is. Share your story, share something unique about yourself, because I know that many people will, when they hear, what is your life like, and how many jobs do you have, and that you still are helping other, single moms, they'll feel they want to connect with a person like you are, right? So that's a very good thing. So what is something that, let's talk about women speakers. I'm very excited about this one, because, we all know, and I want to be very clear with this, and I always say we need more women speakers. And I want to hear more, because big conferences, they don't have as many women as, as men on stage, right? So I always say women, especially in this group, go apply to be a speaker, and even if you get rejected, at least you're going to learn what you need to prepare for the next one, right? So tell me about the women speakers. I want to learn more about that.
Okay. For me, for the overall of the women, it was amazing for me, because Grant allowed his wife spoke, and his daughters, which was amazing. They are so cute. And not only that, Jesse and his wife. I mean, so it's like they're supporting each other. It's like a team. They're building an empire. It's not like if my boyfriend was like, I'm going to do me and you do you. It's like we're working together to push each other brand. I mean, because if you don't have a team, you're not going to be able to be successful. And oh my gosh, The women speakers was phenomenal. I was looking for my notes, but I think I have theirs in different, because I have another women conference that I had that I was going to do, and I had all their notes together. I'm looking for them.
So something that you feel like, okay, if you know, were they sharing a business, more business tips, or were they sharing more, you know, business versus life tips that, you know, or some kind of build your confidence tips? Because I always want to know, like, what is the usually that when women are on stage, what is the usually angle that they take? And I'm very curious about it.
With their story, for me, of course, it's more of my reality, because they're more about the storytelling and that part of it instead of like strictly business. They tell their story in the beginning to get your attention, like most of the speakers do, but you just drawn to their attention because you can actually relate to what they're going through or what they had to go through.
So I just want to first say thank you to Cordelia, Lisa, Christian, Pablo, Leonard for being here. And Pablo, actually, we don't see it's Pablo because for some reason Be Live is not showing names and faces, but this is Pablo Gonzalez. He says, "Amen. More women speakers, please. Sarah Blakely killed it, and the best speaker of the capitalism.com conference was Susie Batiste." Yes, so he said that Sarah Blakely was really good at this. So what do you think about her speech?
I love her because I wear Spanx, so I'm like, yes, I mean, just doing it. I mean, when you have an idea, don't sit on it, because she started because she wanted something to help her, and which ended up helping the world. And that's why I guess we don't realize what a service that we can be to others just by what we need in our life. Like, she needed some tights without the footies in it. She cut the tights off, and bam, not everybody's wearing them underneath their clothes. So you never know, just what your idea can do.
Absolutely.
So which one of the ladies that interests you the most?
So I always want to know how is it to be Cardone's wife, and that is not because he's such a strong persona, and you know, how she can stand out, and how she can, you know, does she want to stand out, or how this works, because he has strong personality, and obviously she has very strong you know, stance and comes to things. How do they work it out, right? Because, you know, there are parents, and there are also business owners, and they also are public figures. So they're all the time have to have everything sorted out. How does it work? And would she, you know, what she feels, would she be this successful if there wasn't for him? Or will he be so successful that wasn't for her supporting him?
I mean, so of course, since I'm a woman, I'm thinking behind every successful man is even a more successful woman. Because
yes, that's how it works. That's how I feel the same. But again, I always want to know, like, what really is in everybody's household is different, right? So I really was interested to hear more about that. Because I really love strong women. I love women on stage. I love women when they are, you know, successful. I'm very obsessed with Barbara Corcoran. Obsessed is like, I don't know even how to say it, but it pretty much, I really read everything from her, because she is somebody like I really follow, and I love everything. Like, you know, the way how she gives advice, she's very straightforward. She doesn't like, she's not very feminine. She's like very man to man when it comes to dealing with men. And that's pretty much the way how I see myself. When I'm speaking with men, I'm very man to man, you know, so I feel like her message very relates to me. So I would love to one day actually go to a conference where she is on stage, and I want to listen to her. So what are some other tips that you want to share that you feel like, hey, you know, here and there, this is what I picked up, maybe even from attendees, maybe even just from the whole vibe or just the whole persona, kind of, what do you want to share?
Just a whole persona. One of the three things that I'm trying to remember who said it, when he was like, get attention, keep attention, and multiply attention. So that's basically, you have to get out there and you have to keep their attention, then you have to multiply that. So with all the marketing tools that they gave us and the speakers that they gave, if we use each of the tools that they gave us, we can multiply the attention that we can get by what we learned this weekend.
Yes, very, very good. And actually, I love it. It's a very good way to put it. I always say, when you educate, when you are getting, attention, when you are educating, you also have to be entertaining as well. So probably that's the part when it means keep attention, right? Because one without other doesn't really go well. But I really love that there's like a get attention, keep attention, and multiply attention. I think I'm going to go and take this out from this conversation. So Emily, I really appreciate you sharing everything here with us. So what is how can we get in touch with you? Where can we find you? What is the best way to get hold of you or connect with you?
Okay, I am on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter under Realtor Emily J. Strickland. So you can find me there, or the website Emily J. Strickland. Well, Emily J. Is the website, so that's simple. But yes, you can find me on any of the social media platforms.
So if somebody wants to have, more of these notes you have there, would they be able to get it?
I'm sorry?
If they want to have more of your notes that you have, would they be able to get it?
Yes. If you can inbox me on any of the social media, or inbox either one of us, and I can send you the notes. I will be typing them up. I've just been hitting the ground running since I came back from the conference. So I'm finally not getting a day off, but I'm taking some time tomorrow after my open house so I can write up all my notes. So if anyone wants it, I'll be gladly to send it to them.
So everybody, Emily's being very generous. She wants to share those notes with everybody here. If you do want to have notes, please go ahead and type #notes. And so once she types them all up and everything, she'll be able to share it with you. So go ahead and type #notes. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, especially because you're so busy. And thank you so much for recapping everything for Tanning's Growth. I wasn't there, and I wish I was. And I really was actually watching everything. From everybody who was sharing. I was on everybody's lives and connecting with people there, and I felt I got out so much, but I want to learn more. So also, Emily shared that Grant is selling his live videos of videos of the
conference, yeah,
for $97, guys. Do you know by chance how we can get it? If you do have this link or something, please go ahead and share with us, because I definitely would like to get it and watch it myself.
Definitely.
So you guys, if you do have any kind of question or anything for Emily, please go ahead and connect with her. If you do want to have notes, use #notes, and she'll be able to share this with you. And also, Emily is a realtor in Tennessee, Lakeland, in the Memphis area. So if you do have any needs for a realtor, go ahead and hire her, because she is not only successful, and you can see how much energy she has. She's very nice and good person, very generous, and you can see that she wants to help other people as well. So I vouch for her for going for, if you need anybody as a realtor, go ahead and hire Emily. Thank you so much, and appreciate you. And everybody else, thank you for joining, and I'll see you around.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And Emily, here we go.